SuperTalk Mississippi media production. It's time to talk about dogs.
Bulldogs have won it.
Talkin Dawgs, that is, with Robbie Faulk, right here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs is on your radio here on SuperTalk Mississippi, SuperTalk 100.9, the Golden Triangle. This is Robbie Faulk. This is Talkin Dawgs, and we are pumped for another Wednesday edition of this show. Thank you for listening wherever you're listening, whether it be on the radio, whether it be online at supertalk.fm, on our great SuperTalk app, maybe even YouTube, or the place that I want you guys to go listen to whenever you can, the podcast app. You go download this podcast, Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk, and you can listen to this every single week whenever you want to. You don't have to worry about it being live or whatever. It's sent straight to your phone. You can listen to it on demand whenever you want to. I'd appreciate you guys if you go download Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk today, subscribe to it, give me a 5-star review, and I greatly appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about today, folks. Mississippi State went head-to-head with number 5 Georgia last Saturday and came up with a tough loss in that ball game against the Georgia Bulldogs. They also started basketball season last week, and we'll talk a little bit about Chris Jans and Sam Purcell starting their seasons. Some mixed reviews so far, but all the same, basketball season is here. It is officially crossover season. It's going to be crossover season for a little bit longer. Then we get a little bit of a break, and then we go straight into crossover season for basketball and baseball. This is the busiest time of year for people like myself, and I would not trade it out for anything else. So we are really excited to talk about that. I would much rather have a lot of stuff to talk about than not enough. And we got plenty to talk about today. Mississippi State now 5-5 on the football season. I think most Mississippi State fans out there, if you told them preseason, when you come down to the final 2 ball games of the season at Missouri and then at home against Ole Miss, you're sitting there at 5-5. Even if you're 1-5 in conference play, I think most Mississippi State fans would have signed up for that. I don't think that's a defeatist attitude. I don't think it's accepting mediocrity. I don't think it's any of that stuff. But I do think State fans would have been okay with that because it would have shown tremendous progress for this team. After going 2-10 last year, to be 5-5 with 2 games to spare, where you have an opportunity to get to bowl eligibility in these last 2 weeks, I think just about everybody would have been okay with that. I know there's some frustrations with how this season's played out. You look ahead or you look backwards and you have an overtime loss with Tennessee to start SEC play where you really felt like you could win that ball game. You're up a touchdown in the final 10 minutes of that game with a chance to win a top 15 matchup against Tennessee to start 1-0 in SEC play. You go to Texas A&M. You have a chance to go up by a touchdown in the first half, and you don't take advantage. You're trailing 14-3 going into the fourth quarter. You end up losing that game 31-9. There were some frustrations in that game. And you look at A&M now, they're number 3 team in the country, and they have an opportunity to win a SEC championship and compete for a national title this year. You go to Florida. You're driving down the field, down 23-21, trying to get in field goal range, trying to kick a field goal to win the ball game on the road. You throw an interception. You come back home, you take on a number 22 Texas team. You're winning that ball game by 17 points in the fourth quarter. You have a chance to blow out a college football playoff team from last season, to blow out one of the most talented rosters in the country. You lose that ball game in overtime, 45-38. Got over the hump against Arkansas, 38-35. That was a huge win just to find a way. And then last week, a step back again. I mean, this was a blowout in every sense of the word. It was 41-21 was the final score against Georgia, but it wasn't really that close. This was a complete domination on both sides of the line of scrimmage for Georgia. Mississippi State looked heavily outmatched for really the first time this year against anybody. I thought even against A&M, they were going toe-to-toe there for a little bit. This was not really the case against Georgia. So I understand the frustrations, and when you look at it from a microscopic level, you can definitely see there's more opportunity for Mississippi State to be even better. But sitting here at 5-5 and 1-5 in SEC play after a 2-10 season last year, no wins, you're in a much better spot. Now it's about finishing. And we're going to talk about what it's going to take to finish this final 2-game stretch with an opportunity to go to a bowl game for the first time since 2022. That is the goal of this particular team for Jeff Lebby and company. What's it going to take to get there? We'll discuss that when we come back. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we'll hear from Jeff Lebby about that game against Georgia and moving ahead to Missouri coming up this week. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
At Bank Oklahoma, we treat our customers like neighbors, and usually they are. You're more than just an account number. At Bank Oklahoma, you have a name, a family, and hopes and dreams for your financial future. I'm Hunter Robertson at Bank Oklahoma in Bruce. We'd love to earn your business and help you reach your financial goals. Come see me or call 662-983-3700. Bank Oklahoma, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Power up your convenience with the 4County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Tillamook County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on SuperTalk 100.9, supertalk.fm. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday, a very cold week that we're experiencing here. Chills in the lower 20s this week. We've had temperatures in the 30s and the 20s when we've been waking up in the morning. Winter is here, folks. And when it's getting this cold, you know, there's opportunities for, you know, busting pipes. You know, sometimes whenever it freezes over here, you'll have trees fall on your house, things like that. You need to be insured. And the place to go, especially in this area, is to Jess Brantley at Alpha Insurance over in West Point. You don't want a tree to fall on your house. You don't want your pipes to freeze and to burst and for your house to be flooded. Nobody wants that, but you have to be prepared if it does. And Jess will get you set up. He and his crew, they know what it takes to make sure that you're insured for when those moments happen. You don't have to worry. Those guys will take care of you. That's what insurance is for, and that's what Jess Brantley and Alpha Insurance is for. So go check them out. I want you guys to get the bundle. Do all your business with Jess. Let him take care of everything. Life insurance, homeowners, car insurance. Jess and Alpha will take care of you, and they'll give you the best price. I can give you my guarantee on that because I've done it myself. So go check him out at West Point, 36 South 4th Street. You can call him at 662-494-4142 and start saving the day with Jess Brantley and Alpha Insurance. All right, so we talked to Jeff Lebby yesterday, coming off of his 5th loss of the season. You know, time's ticking a little bit here for Lebby and Mississippi State. They're going to have the opportunity to get bowl eligible in each of their last 2 games. So it's not like they're going to be playing for nothing in these last 2 games. They will have something on the line in both of these games. If they win at Missouri and they get bowl eligible, well, then you're looking for a 7th win against Ole Miss, and you want to take that trophy back. The battle for the Golden Egg coming up on Black Friday. If they lose against Missouri, you have an opportunity to get bowl eligible and get that trophy back on Black Friday. So there's a lot still on the line for this team. And Jeff Lebby spoke to the media on Monday a little bit about, what went wrong in that ball game for Mississippi State against Georgia, how it got away from them, because there were opportunities in that game to kind of seize it, and Georgia was the one that took it. And that's been who Georgia has been all season long, and really that's been who they've been under Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart's one of the best coaches in the country. He has an unbelievable staff. He's got a great defense coordinator in Glenn Schumann, who I think is going to have an opportunity to get a head coaching job this offseason if he wants it. He's kind of like Kirby Smart was with Nick Saban at Alabama. He's been a guy that a lot of people want, but he has the opportunity to take, not whatever job he wants, but kind of sit back and wait for the right one, just like Kirby Smart did. Kirby didn't just jump for any job. He was at a great spot. He was one of the highest paid coordinators in the business at Alabama, and he kind of sat back and waited, and the opportunity arose for him to go to his alma mater. Well, Glenn Schumann has some of those same opportunities. He's a highly coveted assistant. He's getting paid handsomely, and he's coaching at a great place in Georgia, one of the best programs in the country. There's really no reason for him to jump. And I think they put that on display. They outcoached Mississippi State. They outplayed Mississippi State, and the Bulldogs of Mississippi State just weren't able to stay in this ball game. So let's hear from Jeff Lebby about what went wrong in that game, and also some interesting thoughts on the quarterback situation that I really wanted to dive into after this segment. We'll talk more about it, but some interesting comments from Jeff Lebby about Kamario Taylor and Blake Shapen and what's going on with quarterbacks. Let's hear from him now.
Yeah, I mean, the middle eight is where the game got away from us. I think that's something you look back, game 17-7, there's 2.5 minutes left. We go for it on the 4th down. It talked about being aggressive in those situations. Don't end up converting. And then they've got to go the length of the field, but do. We have 3 penalties inside that defensive drive where they go get 7 points. They have the huge chunk play coming out at half for the big touchdown, again, to make it 31-7. And so that's where the game got away from us. Just so frustrating that that's how things played out. Again, inside our early drives offensively, we have the first one, which is exactly what we want. The second drive, we start with a false start. We end up not converting on 3rd and 5. Shouldn't be in that situation. As you look at it, we get the turnover on 3rd, down there on our own 3. We get 2 first downs. We have the ability really on the second play of that drive. We've got Ant and Brennan, running wide open. We're not able to protect just quite long enough. They end up getting we get the interference call. We have a huge negative on 1st and 10 on the 3rd drive there, and then we fumble the football on 3rd down and give them incredible field position. Again, things like that, when you're playing as good of a football team as we were playing, we're not good enough to overcome those things. We didn't tackle the way we needed to tackle. We had a ton of missed assignments. Again, for us, being able to get back in here and clean that up and take that out of our game. Defensively, that's not been who we've been. So getting that corrected and ready to go on the road.
For the second game in a row, Blake takes a big hit and Kamara has to come in, but having Anthony Evans making that big play last week when in a similar situation, and then Brennan again this week, how valuable is it to have senior leaders like that on your offense?
Yeah, we're going to need it. We're going to need it this week. We're going to need it as we go on the road and play a really, really good football team. We need our leaders to lead in a great, great way. Challenged them this morning. They've answered to that. Our energy as we got on the field today was workmanlike, which I love, and our guys know that we got so much out in front of us. We need to go find a way to play the best ball that we've played all year, not perfect, and go 1-0 on Saturday. And we're going to need great leadership for that to happen.
And with We saw him come back on the sideline after that hit. Is he good to go in practice this week?
No, he did not do anything today, so it'll be evaluating him as we move through the week.
If it's Kamario and kind of your preparation for him this week, if he's the guy that takes the ball on Saturday, what's your confidence level in him leading the team to a win on the road in the SEC as a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, I've got great confidence in Kamario. We've got to make all the layups and just, play inside the scheme, play inside the system. One made some great plays for us. He wants a lot of things back, which I knew that he would. And as he watched the tape, there's going to be great growth for him through playing. That's the reality of it over these last couple of weeks and being able to watch the tape and being able to learn from things. But again, from a confidence standpoint, I've got great confidence in him.
On Saturday, you mentioned how you need to find ways to make sure that you're ready to play on Saturday. Just what are some of those ways that have come to mind in the time since?
Yeah, for us, it's getting back to the basics of playing clean football. Again, the two penalties for us offensively are absolutely critical, and we're drive killers for us. I think I said it on Saturday, but we end up 3rd and 5 and 4th and 5 and don't convert, and we should never, ever be in those situations. And we are because of pre-snap penalties. And to me, those are a choice. That has to be taken out of our game. And then again, along the same lines defensively, we're off the field on 4th and 3. They sub, we call timeout, we get them over, we talk about it, staying on sides. We're about to get the exact same thing, and then we jump off sides. And so doing those things inside of a game where you're playing that kind of opponent, you're going to get beat. And we can't operate that way. We're not good enough to do those things and be able to overcome them. So that's, obviously a huge point for us as we get going this week.
If Blake is healthy and available Saturday, is he for sure the starter, or is it possible Kamario takes over?
No, if he's healthy and truly healthy, he'll start. It's all about him being healthy. So again, as we evaluate this thing and move through it, we'll see exactly where we're at.
Obviously, a couple of these guys got hurt in September and lost for the year, but you got any update on the rehab process of Will Whitson and Blake Steen and Kai McClendon? Yeah,
those guys, all three of those guys are in a really good place. It's a work in progress to get them back going, obviously, and since their surgeries, they've done a really good job of from a rehab standpoint, and we understand what kind of impact those guys are going to make for us moving forward.
And with Whitson, is that something, obviously trying to get him another year because he's been injured multiple times under 4 games. Is that something that process has already started, or is that something you dig into more once the season
No,
ends?
we've began that process and feel good about that.
And that was Jeff Lebby, who was speaking about the loss against Georgia and also his quarterback situation. An interesting development there at quarterback. The fans are clamoring for Kamario Taylor to get more opportunities as a starting quarterback for Mississippi State. They're ready for a different guy there. Jeff Lebby stated in the press conference, Blake Shapen will be the team's starter if he is healthy on Saturday. Will he be healthy? That's the biggest question. And we're going to discuss that whole topic in full when we get back from the break. I want you guys to stay tuned because I got plenty of thoughts on Kamario Taylor, Blake Shapen, and the Mississippi State quarterback position coming your way after the break. This is Talkin Dawgs, Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
When you're a Yellow Jacket, school spirit isn't just for game day, it's every day. That's why the Citizens Bank created the School Stash Debit Card for Starkville-Oktibbeha schools. With every transaction, select credit instead of debit, and we'll donate 5 cents to the district. It's an easy way to show your pride and support local schools with every purchase. Stop by 201 Highway 12 and get your School Stash Debit Card today. The Citizens Bank, in your corner every day. Member FDIC.
Now's the time to get a great deal on proven Kubota farming equipment. Tractors that can do it all and do it right. Hay tools that are backed by a 2-year warranty. And durable Sidekick utility vehicles and SSV skid steers. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 5.49% APR for up to 84 months plus instant cash discount and 2 years extended limited warranty. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Fork County Electric Power Association has spent more than 85 years working to improve the quality of life of all we touch. And that's why we created the Fork County Foundation. Thanks to the generosity of Fork County member owners, the foundation has awarded more than $2.5 million to organizations that support the communities we serve. If you have a 501c3 organization that helps improve the lives of Fork County members, visit forkcounty.org and see if the Fork County Foundation can help you.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma and take that friend with you using Bank Oklahoma mobile banking. Manage your accounts, make deposits, payments, and transfers anywhere and anytime. Bank Oklahoma offers small town feel with big city convenience and the personalized attention you deserve. I'm Joy Faulkner at Bank Oklahoma. Better together, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on SuperTalk 100.9, the Golden Triangle, the beautiful Golden Triangle. We got a lot of high school football in the Golden Triangle going on this week and beyond, and I got a full segment coming in just a few minutes where I'm going to discuss all of that. Before that, we got some Mississippi State quarterback news to discuss. And we also want to discuss, too, Matheson Hardware and Building Supply for all of their support of this show and for the local community. And they don't just support Matheson. They support the surrounding area, and they have been supporting the surrounding area for about 100 years. That's the amazing thing about this business. It hasn't been the same owners throughout, but they've had that same thought process that the consumer comes first, and they want to make sure that your project is perfect. They want to make sure that you're getting the right prices. They want to make sure that they can do everything they can to help you. And I know that they'll do it because I know these people firsthand. They took over a business that my family owned for, almost 100 years, and they have put a lot of love, a lot of effort into this place, and I want you guys to go check it out over in the heart of Matheson, Mississippi. Brad Huffman, Ted Dewitt, everybody over there at Matheson Hardware are there for your building and your project needs, and they have just about everything that you need. I know a lot of people love the convenience of going into the big box stores and the big corporations, but these people have just about everything that you need right there, and they do it from a local perspective. And as my papaw always used to say, and he ran this business for many, many years, always shop local. And I think that is such an important factor in continuing to strengthen a community. These people have that love for the community, and they have the love for the people that come through the doors. You need to go check them out today over there at Matheson Hardware, 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, just right off the highway on 82. You can find them in town right there across from the post office, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon. They are closed on Sunday, but you can find them 6 days a week right there in the heart of Matheson. Go check them out today at Matheson Hardware, Building, and Supply. All right, so before we went to break, we talked about the quarterback situation for Mississippi State, and it is an interesting topic. It really is. I think Jeff Lebby is content with Blake Shapen running the offense for the duration of this season, and Shapen has done it fairly well. I honestly believe that the criticism has been a little more unwarranted than it should be. I do think that he deserves criticism. I don't think Blake Shapen's been perfect by any means. He's been sacked 32 times. He's thrown 6 interceptions. He's fumbled a few times, and they've been critical plays. But I also think that Shapen's done a lot of good. He's thrown for nearly 2,500 yards in 10 games. He has 15 touchdowns on the year. He has 2 receivers that he's gotten the ball to that are pushing towards 1,000 yards. It's only been done 3 times at Mississippi State. I think for the most part he's managed the games fairly well. I don't think that Blake Shapen has – I think a lot of fans have made him out to be, one of the worst quarterbacks Mississippi State's had, and I just don't believe that to be the case. I don't think he's been spectacular. I don't think he's been awful either. And I don't think it's always been his fault. He's been put in bad situations. He doesn't have a great offensive line. He's limited in some of the things he does. It's not all on Blake Shapen. But here's what I'll say. When I see Kamario Taylor, and I'm going to talk from a fan's perspective, what fans are thinking. This is the future of Mississippi State football and Kamario Taylor. This is a kid who, from a pure ability standpoint, 6'4", 230, can run like a deer, can throw the ball flat-footed 50 yards through the air. He has all the tools, all the makings to be one of the greatest quarterbacks Mississippi State's ever had. I don't say that lightly. I truly believe from a skill set standpoint, this could be one of the best they've ever had if he puts it all together. Is he there yet? No. And I understand the thought process from some that say he's not ready. I don't think he's ready to be, a Heisman contender or anything like that. Is he ready to lead this team to a win over the next 2 weeks? Yeah, he can do it. He can absolutely do it. 11 of 19 on the year, 174 yards, 3 touchdowns out of 11 completions. That ain't a bad percentage there for Kamario. And you see how comfortable he is running the football. Second on the team in yards per rush. 34 carries, 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. He scored 3 last week. This is a guy that I think it's just time to turn the ball over to. I just believe that's the case. And he might go out first of all, we don't know for sure what's going to happen on Saturday at Missouri. Mississippi State at Missouri, 6:45 on Saturday night. We don't know who's going to be starting yet. Blake Shapen, if healthy, from Jeff Lebby's voice, would be the starter for Mississippi State in that game, if he's healthy. But that's a big if. And Jeff Lebby didn't sound exactly gung-ho about him being healthy. It didn't sound super confident. If that's the case, if he doesn't play, it's Kamario's team. I think these players are going to play hard for him. We'll go in with the assumption that Kamario Taylor is going to be the starter. I think that the players will play hard for him. I think that he will rise to the occasion. He will be prepared. He will play hard himself. The execution part of it, we'll see. But I don't think he's going to get any better at all that without getting reps. And knowing Kamario, I've covered him for many years now. Covered him in Knoxville County. The first time I ever saw him was at a Jeffrey Simmons football camp in the summer. He was in 8th grade, and he was throwing the ball around, and he was a big human being at that age. And you could kind of see a little bit that you could work with there. I don't know if I ever saw this, what we're seeing from him now. And he's really developed over the last couple of years. He became a more capable runner his senior year of high school. And the leadership, the confidence that he carries himself with, it's not unnatural, but it's not an easy thing to do, what he's doing as a freshman. He has all the tools. He has every tool, and that includes inside the brain. I think that this guy can do it. He's making decent reads at this stage. Throw him in the fire. See what he does. He might go out there and fail in epic fashion at Missouri. He's playing a very good defense. They're going to come after him. But when you look at these two quarterbacks, you look at the deficiencies that Mississippi State has on the offensive line, I just don't see a reason not to give him a shot here. Because Mississippi State they don't have the guys up front to protect Blake Shapen. He needs time in the pocket. He needs the ability to stand back there for 3 or 4 seconds and let a play develop down the field. He doesn't have the ability to get out of the pocket like Kamario Taylor does. With that in mind, I feel like this is your best chance, these next 2 ball games, to go get a win or 2. Kamario Taylor, what he can do maneuvering the pocket, moving out of the pocket, and making plays with his feet in his arm. He's the best option. So it's not a slight at Blake Shapen. It's not disrespectful to say that. You're looking to win a game in these next 2 games. Kamario Taylor, I believe, is your best option to do that. With the situation you have at the offensive line, the fact that Taylor is the future, you're playing for the future here, go ahead and make the future now. It really feels like it's Kamario time. And we'll see how it plays out on Saturday. I have no clue what's going to happen. I haven't gotten any word one way or the other on Blake Shapen. I'm just judging off of what we've heard from Jeff Lebby at this point, how his demeanor was in the press conference when talking about Blake Shapen. It just doesn't feel like he's super healthy right now. Now, he's going to have 2 weeks. He could be back for the Egg Bowl. But for this week in particular, if he isn't practicing on Wednesday, he's not going to play. Jeff Lebby has already told us that. That's been his policy with his players. If they are not practicing and they're not hitting people on Wednesday, they're not going to play. That's happened for his players all season long. Wednesday is when they get really physical. If they can't take that physicality at that point in the week, they go through walk through on Thursday, they're not going to be ready. So this will be Kamario's team if that is the case on Wednesday afternoon. We'll keep you updated. Come check us out at Maroon and White Daily, by the way, at on3.com. We can give you a subscription. For the first week, you'll get $1 off. The best recruiting coverage on the Mississippi State beat from Paul Jones right there. He's got some excellent recruiting news from a 5-star player that Mississippi State's in the game with, Braylon Womack, from right down the road in Hartfield, at Hartfield Academy, and right outside of, or I guess in Flowood, right outside of Jackson. Mississippi State's getting in the game, and Paul Jones has the latest on him. He has the latest on several others that were also in town this past week. Mississippi State's making some waves. You want to stay up to date there. Come join us today at Maroon and White Daily. We have the great message board community of the True Maroon Board. Also, Six Pack Speak is over there. So come check us out today for all your Mississippi State-related needs. I want you guys to also check out Starkville Daily News. That's where I'm at on a daily basis covering high school sports, and I'm going to have more high school sports coverage coming your way right after the break. We got playoff action that has already begun in the state of Mississippi, and I'll have all that for you here shortly. So stay tuned. This is Talkin Dawgs, Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Bank Okolona is committed to the communities we serve. We offer the small town feel with big city convenience and give you the personalized attention you deserve. Come see me, Gene Childs, Community Bank President in Houston and Manatee. We have locations in Aberdeen, Bruce, Houston, Manatee, Okolona, and Tupelo. Bank Okolona, where we are better together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Landowners, are you ready to turn your timber into real value? At Good Hope Land and Timber, we specialize in helping landowners like you make smart, sustainable decisions. Whether you're planting a final harvest, thinning a stand, development thinning, or managing your forest long-term, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We're trained in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow best management practices to protect your land and maximize your return. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need equipment that's built to deliver. That's why H&R AgriPower in Columbus, Mississippi is proud to announce we now carry Kubota hay tools and the powerful M7 series tractors. From cutting and baling to hauling and harvesting, Kubota's hay and forage lineup delivers unmatched performance and reliability in the field. Come see us today at H&R AgriPower, your new Kubota hay tools and M7 series tractor dealer, right here in Columbus at 841 South Frontage Road. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Tibahaw County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. And this is your Starkville Daily Whip Around. We have another big week of high school football coming your way. And most all of our teams are still in the hunt, folks. We've got pretty much everybody. Eupora did not make the playoffs. That's the only team in the Starkville Daily area that is not playing on Friday night. So we had 3 teams in our area that were able to advance, and that is a great thing. We always want to have as many teams as possible playing as long as possible in the playoffs. So we're really excited about the week ahead, and it's a huge week. Starkville, we'll start with them. I was in Oxford last week doing the live stream for Starkville High School at Oxford. Nothing on the line in that game. It was essentially, you know, there was some work that could be done if Clinton would have been able to beat Madison Central. Starkville, I think, would have moved into the 3 seed, but that didn't happen anyway. So the game really meant nothing in terms of playoff positioning, district championship. Oxford had already pulled in the district championship, so they had already won the district title. They were playing for just pride and the Little Egg Bowl trophy, I guess you could say. Starkville was just trying to get back on solid footing going into the playoffs. They knew they were probably going to have to play Tupelo round 1, which is not what you want to do, but it is what it is. They wanted to be able to be playing really good football. And I thought this game was so weird. I thought that they played hard. They played fairly well in this game. It just didn't really make a lot of sense how it played out. And I'm going to tell you exactly why, because Starkville had 483 yards of total offense in this game. Oxford had 280. I've got some more stats for you in this game that don't really make sense. Starkville had 80 plays to Oxford's 52. In Starkville, on those 80 plays, they averaged 6 yards a play. It just didn't make sense. They lost this ballgame 27-21, 11 of 20 on third downs for Starkville, which is pretty solid. 3 of 11 for Oxford. Starkville was 1 of 5 on fourth downs. That's really where things got hairy for them, and it kind of started in the first half. Oxford scored on the second play of the ballgame, and then the Starkville defense shut that offense down. Oxford, I think, had 0 yards of offense the rest of the first half because Starkville's defense had completely shut them down. They were just going 3 and out. Starkville was getting the ball back. They were driving the ball down the field with sustained drives, and then they would stall when they crossed midfield, and they weren't able to get points. They finally got points right before the half, tied it up at 7-7. They scored again right outside of halftime, and they were up 14-7 in this ball game. And it really felt like Starkville had swung things. Oxford couldn't do anything on offense, and they were struggling to stop Starkville on defense. And then Starkville kicked an onside kick, and I did not understand. At the time, I thought, okay, going for the jugular here. You get the onside kick right there. You go down and score again. I mean, Oxford's pretty much done. The more I thought about it, the more it really did not make sense. And you had an offense from Oxford that had not been able to move the football much in the first half. Now you've given them a short field where if they get a first down or two, they have a field goal kicker that could get them points. So you've essentially, unless there's a turnover or a sack, you've essentially gifted them points. It didn't make a lot of sense. So Oxford goes down and scores. Starkville ended up scoring again, and they were up 21-14, but they had a short kickoff after that. Oxford returned it back inside their territory, and here we go. And then all of a sudden, Starkville just could not stop Oxford. Oxford was able to hit some big plays in the passing game. Knox Kiffin to his receivers when they got him rattled, when they kind of got him out of the pocket, he was really inaccurate. But when he had a chance to just step back and just toss it down the field, there wasn't much that Starkville could do. So disappointing loss for the Yellow Jackets, where they had an opportunity to go there and win a ball game and take a lot of momentum into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, win or lose, they were going to have to play Tupelo round 1. And this is where you're at now. Tupelo comes to this ball game 10-1. Now Starkville has really put the fear of God into Tupelo in the playoffs over the years. About 3 or 4 years ago, they came out and beat Tupelo in the North State Championship and ended up winning a state title as the number 4 seed, by the way. Last year, they went there to Tupelo. Tupelo built a lead. Starkville got back in it, and it started kind of steamrolling downhill for Starkville, and Tupelo couldn't stop it. And all of a sudden, Starkville scores a touchdown. They have a chance to go for 2 and take the lead in that ball game in the final couple of minutes. They missed the 2-point conversion, and they couldn't stop J.J. Hill. And Tupelo was able to survive and run out the clock. This is a dangerous game for Tupelo. Starkville has not been playing very well the last couple of weeks, and this team's been so up and down this year. But this is a dangerous game, especially considering Tupelo has just not played great teams since September. The last really, really good teams they played Oxford. They beat Oxford 20-13 on September 19th. And then they lost to West Point the week after that, 28-21. Since then, they've played Hartfield Academy, which, good team, but this is a 7A public school versus a 4A private school. It's just not the same. Tupelo just overwhelming talent. South Haven, Hernando, Horn Lake, Lewisburg, DeSoto. They blew out all these teams. They got running clocks in some of these games. They have not played a super tough schedule, and this is why Ty Harden and some of these coaches, they would tell you they don't like playing in districts like this. They want to play the competition. That's why, to start the year, Ty Harden's playing Brandon, Oxford, West Point. You have to load the schedule up to get them prepared. But now it's been 2 months now since you've played a really, really good football team. And there's no disrespect to some of those teams in that division, but I can almost guarantee you that in round 2, Germantown's going to come out of that with a win over that division. Oxford's going to come out of that with a win in that division. Madison Central. I think 3 of the 4 teams in that region, in Region 2, Starkville's region, I think 3 of them will be in round 2. I think Tupelo will be the only team left if Starkville isn't able to win that game. But I'm not going to concede either that Starkville's going to lose, because I've seen Starkville teams on the verge of beating even better Tupelo teams. I've seen Starkville teams go from, like that team that won the state championship, a 4 seed to a state title and beating Tupelo on that turf. This is not going to be an easy game. This is not who Tupelo wants to play in round 1. But Starkville doesn't want to play Tupelo in round 1 either. So we'll see what happens. I'll be there on Friday night. It's going to be an interesting ball game. We'll see if Starkville can keep it alive. Starkville Academy last week got a huge win over Copiah Academy, 10-7. They went down 7-0 in that first quarter. Defense shut out Copiah the rest of the game and ended up holding on for a huge win. That's a Copiah team that last year they beat Starkville Academy to send them home. Well, now Starkville Academy has revenge on their mind with Park Lane. Park Lane defeated Starkville earlier this year 37-0. This is round 2, an opportunity for Starkville Academy to survive and advance again. Big game, a 9-1 Park Lane team coming to Starkville this week. Starkville Academy 7-4 on the season, trying to get to 8 wins and advance in the playoffs. I've seen Chase Nicholson pull off some amazing things in the playoffs. I'm not counting him out in this game. We'll be monitoring that one this week as well. Moving over to 3A, Choctaw County, 6-4 on the season. They finished, as you know, 3rd in their division with losses to Noxubee County and Winona by a combined 4 points. That got them 3rd in the division. This is not a team that anybody wants to be hosting in the playoffs. This is the defending 3A champs. They're capable of doing it again, and they're going to Kossuth on Friday night. They're going to be on the road the entire playoffs, but this team is pretty much weathered. An 8-2 Kossuth team. They won their division, but Boonville, Belmont, and Alcorn Central, no offense, guys, this is a basketball league and a baseball league more than it is a football league. I'm not saying that Choctaw County is going to go up there and win, but Choctaw County's division is significantly tougher. When you look at Noxubee County and Winona and Aberdeen as your 4 teams, this is going to be a battle, I think, and I'm not counting Choctaw County out. They're weathered. A lot of these players won a state championship last year, 6-4. It could very easily be 8-2 right now in the number 1 seed. So don't count out Choctaw County. They also have a giant chip on their shoulder coming into this. Also, what about the West Point Green Wave? My goodness. 49-0 last week over Columbus. That finished off a perfect 5-0 record with, I think, a running clock in every single game in district play. West Point's 10-0, and I'm just going to tell you, I've seen crazy things happen, but I just do not see a team in 5A that's going to be able to take West Point down. I don't see it right now currently, especially in the north. I just don't see enough teams that they have an opportunity. They're playing Vicksburg this week. We're going to see Lanier probably, maybe next week. Lanier and West Point. We'll see what Tommy Kelly and company, former Bulldog Tommy Kelly, he's done an amazing job at Lanier, having the best season they've ever had. That could be a little bit of a battle. I'm interested to see that. But West Point, Vicksburg on Friday night. And then finally, East Webster. I was at East Webster last week. Now 10-1. They got a 4-0 record in district play. They've shut out 4 opponents in a row. Nobody's talking about East Webster around the state. They're all talking about Heidelberg. Watch out for East Webster. They'll be at home against Myrtle this week. I like this team a lot. I think they have a shot to do some really good things in the playoffs and potentially get to Starkville for a state championship. 8-2, Myrtle coming to town. Let's see what Myrtle's got. I like East Webster in this game, but anything can happen. So that's your Starkville Daily Whip Around. Appreciate you guys on that. Let me have a little high school coverage in the show. Always love that. All right, when we come back, we're going to close this thing out. I want you guys to stay with me, though. This is Talkin Dawgs, Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Looking to complete those tough jobs and don't have the right equipment? Let H&R AgriPower in Columbus help you out. We now offer Kubota's mini excavators, track loaders, and L-Series tractors available for rent. You can also rent attachments like our cutter heads, grapples, post hole diggers, and more. Give H&R AgriPower a call for daily, weekly, and monthly rental rates. Stop by your hometown dealer today. Visit us at our new location, located at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus.
Power up your convenience with the 4-County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4-County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber. Locally trusted, landowner approved.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9, supertalk.fm, and anywhere you get podcasts. Thank you guys for supporting this show. Thank you to Jess Brantley at Alpha Insurance for all their support here, for the support of the community and what they do with their insurance company, making sure that you guys feel safe and are prepared for when disaster strikes. Just great folks over there in West Point, and also great people at Matheson Hardware and Building Supply. I really appreciate these folks for doing business with me and for believing in this show and for always supporting this show each and every week. I want you guys to go support them. I support them. I only do business, I say this all the time, I only do business with people that I can confidently tell you do a great job. And the people that I do business with, conversely, I think that it's so important for me to be able to talk from a place of experience. And I'm not just telling you these things because these people are supporting and running ads with this show. I truly believe it. So do business with these people. You can take my word for it. They are good folks, and they will treat you right. So Jess Brantley at Alpha Insurance, Matheson Hardware and Building Supply, go check them out today. All right, well, it was a rough night for Mississippi State basketball on Monday night. They went to South Dakota, Sioux Falls to be exact, to take on Iowa State. Just across the state line, I believe, the number 16 Iowa State Cyclones, 96-80. This was supposed to be a defensive battle, and Mississippi State forgot about that. And the offense was just putrid in this one for the Bulldogs. It just wasn't good. They ended up scoring 80, but that didn't really tell the tale. Just a ton of turnovers in this game for State. 26, I think, was a new high for Chris Jan's team. Josh Hubbard had 7 of those. Hubbard ended up having 25 points, having to carry the load. You only had 2 guys in double figures. Well, actually, it looks like Brandon Walker scored 10 points in 9 minutes. But you just didn't have enough. And Jaden Epps, like, what's going on there with him? He's not around. I know he got hurt a couple of weeks ago. This team's going to have to gel quickly. But just too many points. 53 points surrendered in the first half for Mississippi State defensively. A lot of it was turnovers. The turnovers turned into offense for Iowa State, and it's got Mississippi State 1-1 to start the season. Not a terrible loss in terms of, it's going to kill their net or anything like that. It's a top 20 team. I think a team that's got every ability to be in the second weekend in March. But it's not a game that you wanted to lose like that. So State's going to have to rebound this week. The women off to a 3-0 start, coming off a 107-43 win over Mississippi Valley. I think the largest point total that they've had in Sam Purcell era. This week they play Jackson State tomorrow night, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. before going to Lubbock, Texas next week to take on Texas Tech. And then for the men, you've got on Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m., Southeastern Louisiana coming up. Also, I wanted to mention what an event, the Diamond Dog Classic this week at Mississippi State, the alumni game for the baseball team. My goodness, the names that they had at that was unbelievable. Great job by all involved. If you haven't seen that, go back. You can watch it actually on the Watch ESPN app. You can go back and watch that replay. Unbelievable to see all the legends that came through. Just a great production. Excellent job for Mississippi State. Probably raised a ton of money for NIL. It was outstanding. So, great job there. All right, guys, Mississippi State, Missouri coming up on Saturday at 6:45. Tune in. That's going to be on the SEC Network. Go somewhere on Friday night. Go see some high school football, folks. Go support your hometown community or whoever. High school football in the state of Mississippi, there's nothing like it. And we're running out of dates this year, so you guys got to go check it out today. All right, this has been Robbie Faulk. This has been Talkin Dawgs. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll catch you down the road.
You've been listening to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk.
Mississippi State with a victory here.
Listen each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk 100.9.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get back. Said I'm gonna try it with them too.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.